What is happening? It's the Smash Bros. Cast episode. Who knows? And we got some special guests. We got Crawler. What's up, baby?
Hey, how's it going? Crawl coming at you.
Raymar. What's going on?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Currently playing Diddy and Ghost. What is up, Ghost?
Yo, how's it going?
It is going well. So, guys, the March tournament was pretty hype. We had about 60 people show up for it, and we saw what did I call it? Skinny frog?
Yes, I remember that when we were commentating.
Yeah, so Skinny Frog won the tournament. April tournament is going to be good to go to sign up by this weekend. So get in there. I'm gonna go for another $100 first prize. So if you guys want a chance at $100, do it. We're just doing cash prizes via PayPal. So it's not an Amazon gift card any longer. Yeah, of course, jump into the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord, and we could jump into this thing. Ghost, you and I have been we've played Smash since the early days of this podcast, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Frick. I was just looking and trying to think how long it's been, but I think it's been at least, since you started.
It's been 4 years because we started. Josh and I started. What, April of?
All I know is just roll. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I know is just roll. So I mean, it's basically the advice of this game of Ultimate, and we started. I think I did a couple episodes solo, and then Crawler jumped in with me, and we started building a Smash community. And it was. I've been going against Ghost's Doc for basically this whole time, usually getting just destroyed, but I think I have got a couple dunks on you here and there, right?
Absolutely. That's just Mario's MO though, right? So
absolutely.
I love it. So
give us a little bit of history with Smash for you. How'd you get into it?
Well, okay, so much like when everything starts, I started all the way back in Super Smash Brothers 64. I didn't get super interested into getting good though until Melee. So back in Melee, I didn't have any idea how to go pro. I was just making sure I didn't get hit. The famous line, "Don't get hit."
Right? Yeah, for sure.
And so what I would do. And because I'm in a small town, I just had my couple friends that would play, my brother, and just the usuals to try and practice with. I had no idea what wave dashing was. I had no idea what L cancels. So that journey started there, and then I've since been trying to get better and keep going all the way up till today.
I love it. I love it. You guys, you're hearing the clickety clacks of controllers. That's Crawler and Raymar. Just they're currently providing B-roll for us, so which is super cool. So, Ghost, I mean, I've got to see your improvements over the years, right? It's been really cool because there's kind of been this group of us that have stuck with this, and we've brought more people into the fold along the way, but there's kind of a handful of OGs, and you are definitely part of that group. And how has the journey with Ultimate been for you? What are some of the highlights, and what do you like the most about the game?
My favorite, honestly, to this update, and honestly beyond, is the fact that you can almost play any character and be good to obviously a certain degree. Some characters struggle more than others, but that doesn't make them bad, I think. And it's just, you see such a variety of competitors playing different characters that no one would ever consider. Because most of the culture around the pro scene was you'd had to be fast and not necessarily, smart-witted with how you use attacks or anything. It was just the fastest. and that's what people built off of from Melee. So I love seeing how many characters are viable in this game, as well as seeing people play them.
I'm right there with you. Like the fact that we saw Greninja and the play style of that Greninja, that was
Right?
It was unreal. It was unreal this last tournament. Like I didn't know what we were watching. It was crazy. And I mean, if I remember correctly, you had to play against that Greninja, correct?
Yeah. Okay. So let me kind of build this up for you. Right during your tournament on Saturday, there, I get two people that DQ'd. So I was like, okay. I was kind of just waiting and playing, just practicing a little bit on quick play, and then I go and face this guy, and he takes a while to try and get to the game. So I'm like thinking, oh no, another DQ. Lo and behold, then you come in and be like, hey, do you want to be on stream? And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I don't mind. And then he whoops me completely. I had no idea, zero idea how to handle this Greninja. And honestly, I was just surprised at how good he was. And then lo and behold, he wins the tournament. Like,
he never lost
just
a
that
set.
good.
If I remember correctly, like he went all the way. So, and just crazy plays using. It was like seeing Greninja with the flood, which is not something I was used to seeing. Just the way he would use the almost like it was he kind of turned himself into a projectile almost, and it would shoot the water out the back, and it would push the opponent away, and it was like. Depending on the like, he ended up fighting quite a few Min-Mins, which that they have the recovery for it, but the characters that didn't, it made it rough for them to get back to the stage.
Absolutely. Just I was trying my best with Doc, especially considering I didn't have the matchup information and like the knowledge behind it. Yeah, you get gimped pretty hard, and it's not an easy win if you can try to get around it. I can't imagine that playing anyone else against Greninja would be as difficult if it wasn't for those characters, that do unfortunately do bad on recovery.
Yeah, like I can only imagine like Mithra Pyra, they would have had some serious issues getting back to stage. So one of the main topics we want to talk about tonight is just like Cryptid's in chat saying, yo, is Ghost being interviewed? Yes, absolutely.
Yes, it is, my dude.
Yeah.
I'd whoop his Dr. Mario. This guy.
Nate says Smash Bros time, and then Cryptic saying I'd whoop his Dr. Mario, LOL. So so there you go. So one of the topics I wanted to cover tonight is like, how are you still improving after 3 years in the game? What's keeping you motivated even to keep playing? I know that's kind of two questions, but like how like is it a regular, do you practice daily? Are you like, how are things going for you this late in the game?
So, well, okay. So let me explain. I do get offline experience because I do play every Friday with some of my friends and my brother. This far in, like we've always had like a game night on Friday, but I've also been playing online with lots of other people. Lots of people that people would know who know me through this, these outlets and whatnot. Leo being one of them. I've always been playing with him, and yeah, so I've had quite a bit of experience online and offline. And honestly, that's really what's been keeping me going. Is just how much variety, and still I have a lot to learn. Considering I had a lot of like faith that I do well in the tournament, and then I get whooped by a Greninja. So it was a little daunting to see that I was,
there's a banana.
I had my ego shot. And so I'd say the biggest thing that keeps my interest is just finding new people to play. And honestly, I love losing. Like I want to lose as much as possible so I can see why I lose, and I can then improve on it. And honestly, that's really just how I like to learn. It's just, you know, as much as I want to lose or and win, like more than lose, it's learning that actually makes me super excited about the game. And this goes with any fighting game that I've ever played.
Understood. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, you guys have heard Frozone on here before. We've talked about him at length. Like, he's kind of the final boss for us when it comes to Smash. And and I was like, he's so funny because if I get on Smash, there's a good chance I'm gonna
spider
get a
sense
message.
tingles.
Yeah, his spider sense definitely tingles. And he wants to get matches. And it's like, for me, it gets me excited every time because I mean, one, there's a good chance I'm not winning. I think I beat his Pikachu the other day, like, and I think he had an SD, right? So like, it still doesn't feel real. But as I was playing against his DDD, who, I mean, it's just it's unreal what he does. It was all I was doing was continually learning as I was playing. It was like if I threw a fireball and then tried to drop down into a back air or something, he had enough time to get the grab off, or he just had these ways of countering me every time. So it was like it was closing all these doors on how I could actually attack.
Yep.
But at the same time, I was just paying attention and picking up on the on like slowly starting to learn the patterns, right? Like he's basically
Yes.
an Elden Ring boss. So
Yeah.
I just had to learn the patterns. So it's
I love that analogy, by the way. That's great.
and I mean, the big takeaway for me is it's just that's something I'm always trying to improve on is really focusing on what my opponent's doing and how can I exploit it? How can I capitalize on it? Right. And that's the name of the game. That's how you're going to win matches. That's how you're going to be a better player. And,
well, and it's also something to be said that when it comes down to, as you're learning, you're going to run into a lot of cheesy methods to kill people, right? Kirby's, sucking them in and falling down is an example of what people can expect if people are really trying to win. Is like, it's fair game. And projectiles as well is actually another thing that people like to complain about. It's part of the game. Not going to say get good as a sense of you need to get better to beat these projectiles, but you got to learn how a character plays if you got to understand how to win, right? So
absolutely,
play styles, everyone has one, and they're not all going to be the same neither.
That's very true. I mean, I've definitely learned for myself as I picked up Mithra Pyra, and I haven't even said it on this show yet, but I made it into Elite. I got Mithra Pyra into Elite. That's the first and only character that's in Elite. Now I can't play with him anymore because I don't want him to fall out of it, So, but it's totally different being able to play a character that has that feels far more like defensive versus like Mario, who's very much got to be on the offensive because it's just the play style, right? But,
exactly.
But I found that I really enjoy it, even though I Cryptic's like before Mario, like yes, yeah, before Mario. So, but what I found with them is they really did fit my play style, and what I love about still playing Mario is that I'm not done. You know what I mean? I'm not done at all. And from YouTube, let's see. Daddy Ram says, haha, don't fall into the mistake of making it into Elite and never touching the character again. Not that Elite is the best practice anyway, right? From people
spam at that level right there. You're just getting people that are trying to spam, like spoof it to get in, so they do the stupid rule sets.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wish there was once. I can understand. I guess this is a topic we could eventually explore, or we can go into it here in a little bit. But like, we've argued about bringing back For Glory, or like a standard rule set. And I mean, for the most part, once you're up there, you're gonna see a standard rule set. But it'd be nice if Elite was like a guaranteed 7 or 8 minute 3-stock on a non horrible stage.
Yeah, Battlefield or something. Yeah.
Great Cave Offensive, you mean? I've seen that before. That was terrible.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad. On the way there, some of the stuff I saw was just it's just crazy the way people try to cheese stuff.
Yep.
Like, and my favorite is when they do like 3 stocks in like 3 minutes, and I'm like, you are gonna hate me by the time we're done. And I would just take 1 stock and then just run away.
They're banking on you. They're banking on you not paying attention to the timer, which half that time happens to me. I get, like, the announcer starts to be like 30 seconds, and I'm like, what? We haven't been playing that long.
Right. Yeah. So I've started paying attention to it, and I usually try to exploit it because I'm just like, if you wanna be cheesy, that's fine. And then sometimes if they'll run it back with me, then they'll get my rule set, right? Which then doesn't end well for them either, usually. So not always the case, but you can kind of tell the people that have cheesed to get their way up there. So Daddy Rams from the chat says the real issue with Elite is it mostly teaches you how to deal with cheese and other Wi-Fi tactics. Then you go to a tournament with someone who knows what they are doing and get bodied. Yeah. No doubt.
Exactly. Like, don't use Elite and quick play to really justify practice when you got to try a little harder. You got to go into like a Discord, you got to go into like some forum website, I don't know, wherever friends will be, and then you go into an arena. Like, that's the best way. And then you just find more people that way, or open up your own arena. That's also another thing. People just randomly join it. And as long as they have a good internet connection, you can easily have the practice you're looking for at a decent connection. So
and
sometimes,
if they don't, kick them out.
Exactly. You have the power.
You have the power at that point. Yeah, no doubt. So, well, after this match here, we'll move Ghost into the arena with Crawler. We'll pull Raymar out, and we can hear his thoughts on just practicing and stuff this late in the game. I know for myself, like, I don't feel like I've ever stopped learning with this game. You know, and what's been interesting is I tried to jump back into like Street Fighter 2, and it's so incredibly slow.
Yep.
It's such a different beast from what I remembered, right? Because I mean, that was one of my main games I played as a kid, but it's so different now from Smash that it's tough to jump back into. So, but this game is a continual learning experience. It's how to improve. I mean, and like you were talking about with like the practice, like it's really funny because like Crawler and I will jump into matches, and then there'll be times he's like, "Oh, I can tell you've been playing this week," right? And it's like But what typically happens is it's not just pure domination. It's he has to adapt to what I'm doing, and then I have to then readapt to what he's doing. You know what I mean? And it's always a great time. It's always a chess match, you know. So
I always come upstairs, and my wife's like, "What were you doing down there?"
Why are you swearing so much?
The screams and the yelling and the.
Especially when I cape him, there's always a swear every time there's a cape. It's a swear, and then it's a I went so deep, and then that's usually
because our offstage chess match is the where it's won and lost for us.
Yeah, it's the bread and butter. Cryptic from the chat said it's weird that Nintendo does not see the competitive side of Smash for online compared to other fighters like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Guilty Gear, etc. Yeah, I mean, the unfortunate thing here is the first word in that sentence, or the fourth word in that sentence, which is Nintendo. I mean, I just don't. I don't. In some cases, I don't think they realize what they have. You know, they just don't. They don't realize what it could be. Like, the amount of money that could be made from tournaments. And I mean, again, I don't know that that's really their business model. You know what I mean? Like it's they want to sell games, they want to sell characters. Why leave Smash in the state it's in without adding more characters? I don't really know. It seems like they could have kept going and just expanded the lifespan of this game, but they didn't. So it kind of just is what it is, unfortunately. So
I've seen a pattern where when it comes to Nintendo, that you know how you don't really see remakes in a way. What they like to do is they like to just one and done it. Like they would make one thing and not follow up on it. Like they won't add like a Super Mario Sunshine 2 or Super Mario
Galaxy
64
2.
2. Galaxy.
Oh,
Well, see,
I
Galaxy
see what
2
you're
is the
saying.
anomaly.
I understand what
Yeah.
you're saying. I thought you were saying they didn't add Galaxy 2, but I see what you're saying. You're talking about doing sequels.
They tell you what you want and you'll like it.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
They don't want they have this weird notion, I think, that they don't want to repeat things because it's old. It's like they want to try and do something new, kind of like how they developed the console.
That very well could be the case, you know. And I mean, it's the business side of things is crazy, right? You're talking about investors and just all the analytics and the data and everything. Like they clearly know what they're doing. They're over 100 years old and they're still in business, right? So
Yeah.
it's just, as the consumer, sometimes we look back and go like, or we look at it and go like, there's so, yeah. And then Cryptic's like Mario Kart 8 DLC 5 years later. I mean, it's basically
It's
8
technically,
years later.
That's to say, it's been a while.
It's crazy. You know, Nate's saying, I'm sure Nintendo sees it. I wonder if the community bad seeds kind of make them be hands off. And I mean, that there's definitely a possibility there too. Smash is not without its dark clouds, you know. So but Raymar, we got you've been playing Diddy. Like, can you just tell me about your love for Donkey Kong Country?
Well, I mean, I do love Donkey Kong Country, the original trilogy on Super Nintendo. Yeah, because I main King K. Rool and I've been trying to secondary Diddy. I don't know. I mean, I do love that franchise. It's not necessarily the reason I picked those characters, but it doesn't hurt.
I got you. I was more harassing you just because I'm just like me, you know.
Yeah.
So you weren't able to make this last tournament, but you've been doing pretty well in the previous ones, yeah?
Yeah, I think I did the one in February. I know I made top 8. I think I got knocked out pretty quickly in there, but yeah, I've done pretty well historically in the tournaments. I think this one, it was probably a good thing I wasn't there because I saw all the heavy hitters that were part of it, and I probably would have not done as well as I usually do. But
you know, it's interesting. The Greninja beat Jake, and then Jake quit.
I saw that. Yeah,
it was pretty interesting.
Hungry Box hosts a tournament every Wednesday, and there's like 730 people in it. And last I checked, Jake was in winners top 8. So like, yeah, it was just crazy that he was in that tournament.
Yeah. Well, and see what Crowzone told me. He goes, as the dollar amount goes up, he goes, if you hit the $250 prize mark, you're probably going to have pros coming out of the woodwork to play. And so that's my next goal for this. Like, we're at 100 right now, but I want to get it up to where it's at 250. Like, I wouldn't mind if it was close to a total for first, second, and third of $500, right? To where first is taking like 250, and then maybe like, you know, I don't know, 175 or something for first, second, that kind of thing. Just moving down that way, right? I think it would just be a good incentive, and I think it would get people hyped. And I also want to get sponsors involved so that we can really, really take this thing to another level, you know? So, guys, chat is asking if the arena is open. Do we want to open it up and just let people come in and round robin? Like, are you guys?
I mean, Yeah, we can. Yeah, people
We
can come in.
we could try it. I mean, if it gets laggy, then we'll just have to swap it out. But then we could even drop to the stands and let people play if we want, and we can chat.
Yeah,
so.
Ghost. Hold on a second. I'm gonna put this in chat. Is this gonna pop up everywhere if I do this?
Yeah, it'll pop up on all the places. They can just come in, first come, first serve. I can do it while you're playing, so I can.
I got it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so there's the code, guys. If you guys want to jump in, we'll just kind of do King of the Hill while we're chatting here. So, but
Game
Raymar,
on.
you've been playing Smash for years, right? I know we've talked about it in other episodes, but like, what's keeping you going with Ultimate still?
So kind of similar to what Ghost said, I have a friend that we pretty much get together every week on Tuesday nights and play in person. So I mean that's a big part of it, honestly, is just the hanging out aspect with people that you are friends with, and so that's part of what's keeping me going. And just I think by nature I'm a pretty competitive person, and so this is kind of like my outlet for like competition, and so just trying to get better and just competing. I haven't really been doing that much competing though. Ironically, like in-person tournaments, I haven't been to many lately. I need to get back to that.
Finally just opening back up, right?
Yeah. It's been kind of like an on and off thing here. I'm in Michigan, but yeah, I think they're starting back up again pretty full force. Because I do want to go to, there's a major here in Michigan in the fall in October, Big House. So I kind of want to get some practice before that happens and see how I do.
We were talking about going to Big House.
Yeah, I think I don't know if Johnny will be able to make it to that one, but
it's corporate tax season at that point.
Yeah, but I think Crawler and I are going to give it an attempt anyway. So
yeah, that'd be great. It's like 20 minutes from my house where it's at.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, maybe we'll try to get like an Airbnb or something. We can just turn it into a Smash house for the whole weekend. Like it'd be awesome.
I know Magic Mike has talked about coming across the border and coming over for that one, hopefully.
Hey, you guys got a big bridge over there, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, and what do you find yourself doing now to keep improving? Johnny's in chat said, "Talk behind my back."
No, we're talking in front of your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, other than just playing the game, because I think that's the best way to improve, is just simply playing it, which I do not as much probably as I was before, but still, like I said, consistently every week, at least once in person, and then getting some online sessions in every now and then. But I feel like I watch a lot of Smash, whether it's tournaments, live tournaments, or I'll watch back like matches from different tournaments, and I'll usually try to find videos that have like the character that I main, just to see what other people are doing with that character and trying to learn something new. I listen to like Tweak. I'm sure you guys know who he is. He has a Smash Brothers podcast there's a new episode every week, and so like just hearing from like the best of the best talk about the game, you can learn a lot of helpful information that way. That's another thing.
A show that comes out weekly and has people that know what they're talking about. Oh no. We've got real competition now.
They're on like episode 40, so it's been going on for a while.
So real quick, Ghost, let's talk about that down tilt to up B that you've killed me with more times than I'd like to talk about, and how you just finished that last match. Like where did that come from? Was that something you learned on your own, or did you see another dock player do it and you were like, yo, I've got to incorporate this into my play?
So okay, in the Dr. Mario community, it's actually called something else, a little silly.
You can say
but,
it. We're fine. It's adults.
What is it called? Hold on. I know what it is. I just got to remember what it's called.
Oh my gosh. I almost messed that up.
Crawler almost died right there.
Anyways,
if you don't remember,
the whole
it's
point.
Not a big deal.
Yeah.
No, keep him thinking, because I'm doing a little bit better right now.
So that attack has actually it's been mostly known in the Dr. Mario community. How I found out was a friend who doesn't actually play it and just suddenly knew it and said, just try it, just give it a shot. And so I started incorporating it, and I'm like, no way, this is like a kill confirm. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, this is all I needed to get good.
No,
we'll call
that's
it the hernia,
yeah,
we'll call it the
that's-
hernia check. How about that? The hernia check.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's something else check.
oh, is it a little more? Am I going to put the explicit tag on the?
Yeah, I got
There you go.
Right.
Check. Okay, perfect.
And yeah, so really that just came out of nowhere, and I started to pick it up and learn it, and then I learned that you could 2-frame with it too.
Interesting. Okay, so
But-
this leads to my. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was only gonna say that like the hitbox is small. I actually have to space that thing out perfectly in order to get that 2-frame.
So I took some practice then.
Yeah, because I gotta know how far I need to be in order to get the 2-frame, and then if I get the 2-frame, have the reaction time to jump and up B either with a half jump or a full jump if they're high percents.
I see. Okay, cool. So Raymar, my question for you is like, what have you had any kind of similar experience with King K. Rool where you're like, maybe start incorporating a different move later in the life of the game, or there was some kind of new combo that wasn't necessarily part of your tool set and then became a part of your tool set?
There's just always stuff that I'm trying to get better at. Like the big thing with K. Rool is comboing off his crown, and there's so many ways he can get KOs off of that. So I'm just trying to constantly improve at that. And that's another thing in terms of improving is, if you do have a main, which, if you're going to play the game competitively, you really should, being a part of the character's specific Discord for the character that you main and just getting information from all the different players in there. Cause that's one thing I do. Like I pretty much every day I'll check out the K. Rool Discord just to see if there's anything new. Or people will ask questions about like matchups, and so I always want to read up on like what the really good players are saying about certain matchups, because there's so many characters in this game. It's really impossible to be prepared for every possible matchup. But just doing whatever you can to get some information on the different matchups and characters. So I mean, there's just so much. Like that's one thing that really strikes me is I've played this game more than any other game I've probably played in my life, and I still feel like I'm so bad at it. It's just so much to learn and get better with. It's crazy.
Well, everybody's always evolving, right? Like it's one of those things. I mean, everybody's trying to improve, and especially if you're playing this on the competitive side, right? And so it's like, in some cases, we all kind of improve together, as we're depending on how much we're playing with each other and that kind of thing. But like,
no, okay.
I
had to jump. I
didn't
didn't think
famous
I had
no,
to jump.
you guys. That is the famous no that I get to hear all the time right before I swear. So,
Jeez, that hitbox.
the up smash from Doc right there is just brutal, like completely brutal. So, but Crawler, this has definitely been something that I've seen from you, where I remember after like a tournament, all of a sudden you are going out high. Like if somebody's recovering high, you're going out after them and hitting that up B and getting that kill, and that came out of nowhere. Like that was.
Hold on
I
a
was
second,
like,
guys. Don't start. Hold on. There we go.
I was like, where did this come from? So where did it come from?
It's always funny to. It's always fun to play people, because me playing against you, I can't do my normal because you see it all the time, and you have counters to it now. But it's always fun to play people, especially that aren't used to my matchup, and kind of do the regular stuff a little bit. I do need to hop back into quick play a little bit and work on that grind a little bit, because it would be nice to try to get a little bit higher, because it's definitely over time has tanked a little bit, and it definitely ebbs and flows and up and down quite a bit.
Do you recall though specifically? Was it a tourney where you came back and started doing that, and I was just like, what am I seeing right now?
Yeah, I don't remember, like, because before we went to Genesis, I was at least like every other week or so trying to go to my local, and wasn't doing the greatest in the bracket, but just going there and playing live, playing with other people, I did know a few people from work and other acquaintances that I had, so and some of them were regulars, and some of the top players, like an acquaintance that I have, he's arguably, I think, in the top he's regularly in the top 8 of the state, if not up in the top 2 or 3, and so just getting there to pick their brain and talk and do friendlies after the fact, and then playing with Dane and
what's his
AV.
name? AV.
So
I was like,
drawing a
I
big
kept wanting
blank
to
for a
say,
second.
I kept wanting to say PJ. I'm like, it's not PJ.
But yeah, I mean, just playing more with people, it definitely helps and expands your repertoire quite a bit.
To me, I'm so glad. Like, we went so hard on this game, like, and I think a lot of people did, but like, I had to step back because I was just like, this is Smash overload at this point, right? And it was like, but now I feel like I'm in a really good place where I try to play at least 2 or 3 times a week, and sometimes more. Sometimes it's more, just even getting like a handful of matches in, just because like I love that right now I'm trying to get Mario into Elite. Like, I know there's cheese I have to deal with. There's no question there, but there's also just this level of like, it gives me a goal. It gives me something tangible that I can work towards. And I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it. And then when we play, usually I'm making some kind of improvements, and my Mario struggled in Elite. Like, I've gone from as high as like 9 million down to like 4, and then back and forth again. So but again, it's just one of those things that it's like, there's always improvement happening. There's the worst thing with quick play is if there's some kind of distraction that I have to deal with while I'm playing, and I'm like, I'm gonna lose I'm gonna lose all these points right now. So, but it's just the way it goes. And it's like, even just watching the matches right now that we're seeing, like, I still just get so pumped about this game. Like, I get so hyped doing these tournaments and just watching the play and getting to go crazy. Last week was nuts. The chat was super hyped. Like, everybody was really, really into it. And people that don't even play Smash were watching just because of the high level of gameplay, right? Like, like, it's one of those things. I mean, I remember the first time
whenever there's a big tournament, yours, I mean, a smaller scale tournament like yours, scaling all the way up to those majors, like, it's some of your most viewed content. But then you look at the numbers on Twitch when the big majors are going on, or even just a regular, not even a major, but like a tournament that brings out some of the bigger names. It has incredible numbers on Twitch. Like, viewership is just great on this game, and it is a shame that Nintendo doesn't leverage that, because I feel like they could have they could do a lot with this.
Yeah, it would be great if they would get a hold of Microsoft and talk to them about HCS and how they run all that, and get Smash going in a similar way, like,
well, they are doing that.
And Sony owns
Evo
now.
Right. What were you gonna say, Raymar?
Oh, I'm just gonna say, I don't remember when it was announced, but they are doing that like big tournament thing with Panda Global. Like, they're teaming up with them, but I don't think we've heard any details on it. I don't know if you guys remember hearing that.
Yeah.
We talked about it, but yeah, it's kind of gone. It's been radio silence since then. But
Yeah. So I don't know what that's going to look like or whatever, but it is going to happen, I guess.
which is definitely something. It's a move in the right direction.
Right. And that's melee and ultimate, so it's kind of cool.
And Panda Global has definitely done the most in regards to this game. I think they've made a dock peripheral with the controller ports on it. Like they're doing a lot. I think, I don't know, with or without Nintendo's help. Now they are officially partnered. So I mean, they definitely are a leader, especially as a esports organization, to try to get attention on this game. Even though it doesn't really need attention, but it needs that corporate hand to help it a little bit.
that corporate moolah
Yeah.
Yep.
is really what it needs to just lure more people in.
Well, yeah, the prize pool and the sponsors definitely help.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we're like, I've already had sponsors for the tiny little tournament that we're putting on, right? So it's definitely, I mean, you can only imagine the kind of sponsors they could bring in for this kind of thing, to where it would be like, if anything, it would sell more copies of the game, you would think, right? Just because it would get more and more people. I mean, I saw competitive Smash and was like, I need to play this. Like, I need to learn to play this way. Was it easy? No. Is it easy now? No. But like, was it worth it? Hell yes.
Go back if you want to see anything is possible, because if you go back and watch some of our old stuff from 4 years ago, it's when we were playing Smash 4 before this game came out. We've definitely improved. Josh and I both didn't like shield a whole lot. We didn't grab like a whole lot. We didn't have confidence to go off stage, and it's definitely changed quite a bit.
Oh yeah. It's so much. It was like, we didn't even shield, like there was no shielding. There's still barely spot dodging, right? That's still barely in our repertoire. So, it's just the way it goes. But well, guys, this has been a blast. Thank you so much, Ghost, for taking the time. Appreciate you. Raymar, thank you so much for taking the time. And I think that's gonna do it for this one. So who knows? We might try to get this back to weekly after the little dig from Raymar there about having a weekly show. So we'll just have to see. But
hey, if you want to hear our voices every week, there is the Nintendo Powercast.
That's true.
And then every other week is hey, we're still talking Halo. Who knows how long that'll go on? But Press Pause will eventually come back a little bit more. If you like Star Wars, there's the Bendu podcasts. Occasionally, it's definitely going to ramp up here coming into May with Obi-Wan. But yeah, you can still hear Josh and my voices other places, and then keep on the lookout for new episodes dropping, because we're getting into summer. You never know. We might be playing a little bit more.
Yeah, and I mean, the talks of hitting some of the majors, like I'm hoping we can do 2, because I really want to get Johnny into one, and but knowing that Mike and Raymar will both be at Big House sounds pretty fun too. And man, Raymar is going to town on that controller right now. I love it. All right, guys, thanks for watching live. If you're here with us, thanks for listening after the fact. We appreciate you. Remember to jump in the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.